Broadcasting live from Buffalo State College, here is The Blitz on 91.3 FM.
Welcome to The Blitz on 91.3 FM WBNY Buffalo, Buffalo's original alternative since 1982, brought to you by the Buffalo State Student Activity Team. My name is Dan Dale, also known as Double D. Today, I am joined by Frank the Tank and Chris Giacobello. Once again, just like Friday.
Hi.
How are we doing today, fellas?
Well, there's a problem with our intro. And, there's always something that bothers me about Monday with that intro, especially when the Bills lose, because I really do feel in the background, instead of that hype, peppy music, get you ready for the show, should really be this. Yes. The sadness music is back. Chris, you don't have to listen to this. Your team won.
Okay. Well, I still have mixed. Okay.
Okay, whatever.
Shut up.
Sure.
You
You
won.
won.
You won your game.
Me and Frank are just miserable right
Being
now.
attacked today.
If the Buccaneers are once again on the receiving end of some historic game for some random player, you will never see me again.
5 touchdowns.
470 yards. We made Dalton Schultz look like prime Antonio Gates.
You had the running back. The Texans even have a kicker.
Dare Ugbanawale.
Yeah. Their emergency kicker, the running back, scores a game-leading field goal. And then you got the Bills.
I think we're.
I don't want to talk about the Bills. For the first time in my life, I think I seriously do not want to talk about them. I was okay talking about them at 13 seconds. I was okay talking about them when they lose to the Texans. I just don't feel like it today.
I watched the Sean McDermott presser. Once again,
I'll look into it.
Nothing of substance.
I'll look into it.
Nothing at all, which shows that this team is going to change. Watch Todd Bowles' presser, and guess what?
Nothing.
Same
Did you get the
thing.
same vibe from it?
No substance. No, that is a man that has nothing going on inside of his head. It's just that stupid monkey with the 2 cymbals clapping in his head.
No idea knowing what's going on.
Yeah, you don't have to deal with this, all right? Your team's 8-1.
You have someone
It's a
who looks like they're
generous
25
eating.
And drinks nothing but Natty Lights all day as a head coach.
You have a
Why are
center.
you coming at Nick Sirianni like
because
that?
we can. You have a center who had his birthday and then randomly got drug tested.
Yeah, that was weird. But not commenting on that.
You have a better system quarterback than
You know
Brock
what?
Purdy.
You know what I think it was? I don't know if you watched the game, but he was screaming at someone was grabbing him.
Someone need him in the head while he was down,
Yeah.
Oh,
and that's why he was furious.
he's got the passion. Shout out to.
Yeah, passion. That's
Yeah.
great.
Passion. Mhm.
Okay.
Really
Great.
wish the Buccaneers secondary had any passion in that game.
Bill's offense did not have any passion last night.
First drive they did, and then
And then the last drive,
I'm seeing a lot of tweets about
Too many tweets.
Ken Dorsey's got to go.
Too many. What changed?
I wish Joe.
4 weeks. 4 weeks. 5 weeks ago, we were talking about how this man is the creative genius that he is. That he got so much better, and then 5 weeks later,
I
why are we not getting rid of the guy?
wish Joe was here because I really need bad to the bone right now because I'm sorry, Sean McDermott. We wanted to slow down so we could figure out the defense. After having an explosive first drive and you know the no-huddle works and you know how to play Josh Allen and yet you keep neutering him and his play style. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that.
No problem. Anytime.
When you limit Josh Allen to the quarterback style that he's not, guess what happens?
What happened?
You lose football games.
Do you?
You do.
Do you?
It's almost scientific. It is, in fact, a theory. Just a theory.
A game theory.
Yeah, that's the...
It's fair.
Don't worry. Because while you guys have McDermott problems, I have Todd Bowles. I have Todd Bowles as my coach, the defensive-minded head coach. The head coach that has a .400 winning percentage through his entire career. We let a rookie quarterback throw for 470 yards and 5 touchdowns. We made Dalton Schultz look like every single prime tight end ever created. Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gage, Jason Witten, Travis Kelce, Rob Gronkowski. He had the spirit of all of them in that body.
Yeah.
We're paying Carlton Davis $14 million a year
To sit on his butt.
to be toasted, roasted, burned, skinned, alive by the Texans offense, which is fine because you know what? The Texans are a good team. Whatever. We put up 36. 37. And with our defense, that should be enough. No. Baker Mayfield has the drive of his life and gets us into the end zone with 43 seconds left. That should be enough. Oh, wait.
Too much time.
Todd Bowles is out there. What are we going to do? Cover 2. I was ice skating during this game.
Yes.
And that clip I sent in of me hitting the boards at like 20 miles an hour.
Was that to get your frustration out?
That was after the game. I said, here, hold this. I'm going to run into the wall.
Oh, so it was planned.
Gotta let
it
off
was
steam
planned.
somehow, you know?
Well, first off, I don't know how to stop.
Okay.
Oh.
Well,
I don't know how to
that
stop
is
when ice
a problem.
skating. I can go backwards. I can go forward.
But
I
you
don't
can't
know.
stop.
I don't know how to. Everyone's like throwing the size of your skate and just. I'm like, I'm gonna break an ankle, guys. But
I love ice skating.
and you know what? It's not an overreaction for firing Todd Bowles
No.
because it turns out all of X, all of Instagram, all of Facebook, all of MySpace, all of AOL, all the chat rooms back in 2003 agree with me. Fire Todd Bowles immediately.
Yeah, I can't say the same about McDermott. I mean,
Uh,
I could say, oh, please.
All
for the
3
love of
phases
God.
of the game go through him.
Yeah, all 3 phases. So 2 of the phases work. 1 of them just completely doesn't. I wonder why. Wonder why a defensive coach doesn't work with the offense. Yeah, Sean. I hope the next meeting that Dorsey has with Sean, Dorsey locks the door and does not let him in. I don't care if it causes him to be fired, downgraded, Joe Brady becomes the offensive coordinator, whatever the cost may be. I just need Dorsey to lock the door away from McDermott and the offense. Give him a fake playbook. Give him just something just to get him away from you.
No, give him a fake playbook with all just the plays reversed. So when he calls for like Jet Hawk 22 out, it's really just going to be like a post on the inside. But he doesn't know that.
Right, yeah.
So when you really
No, he just gets all confused on the sideline.
And he goes, that's not what I called. And he goes, no, you called Jet Hawk
Yeah.
post 22 out. And it's like, sure.
Why just we don't... Let's
Let's
just
just
give
not-
him the fake plays.
Let's just not have McDermott call offense.
And you
have
know,
it go
it's
through him.
funny because you would think, oh, Josh Allen, you know, the man, the myth, the hurdle master, running the ball. Amazing at running the ball. He even pointed at a guy because he made him jump so high. And that is one
Got
of the...
flagged for that, too.
We have to talk
It's
about
a
that.
shameful
No,
flag
we
for
are
that.
going to talk about that later.
He stared
but-
down our guys and didn't get a flag,
Yeah.
and then he points, and it's like,
Yeah, no, we're definitely going to talk about that in a minute, but
Like, you're not allowed to point at someone.
what worked in the 90s for the Bills back then, because remember, that's when no huddle was created.
it was peeking.
If we want to be like the 4 Super Bowl team, or the team that showed up to 4 Super Bowls, it pretty much seems like no huddle's going to be the way to go. Right? Right. I'm not crazy here.
No.
Nope.
That no huddle has been the best this offense has looked the entire year. We have finally found an identity that Sean McDermott wants to crumple and store away for later. It's like there ain't going to be a later if we don't make it to the thing that's later in the season.
I can't believe at this point in the season it's wild card or bust. That is a wild statement to say about the Bills. In Week 9, it is wild card or bust.
Yeah, I don't think any Bills fan was expecting that.
There's still a chance.
Do you see the smile on his face?
Yeah, no, I'm not even looking at it.
Do you see the smile?
What
I'm not even
smile?
looking.
Listen, Chris Jogba was just over there grinning ear to ear.
Yeah, no, there's a reason
Just a
I'm
happy
not looking
person
over
by-
there right
Oh,
now.
you're a
default.
happy person. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Not
just peace,
by default.
Peace, love, and positivity.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's got a new Christmas
Oh
album
my
to listen
God.
to.
Oh, yeah. You have to hear Jason Kelsey, the worst singer of all time.
Look, I'm just happy Champions League is back this week.
That's fair.
So, you know.
Let's go Gunners.
Whoa. Whoa. Who?
Come on, you Gunners.
Arsenal, he says.
I do.
So, are you an Arsenal fan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Since 2013.
So, not when Thierry Henry. Okay.
I didn't watch soccer back then. I watched it after the 2010 World Cup. I'm a casual.
Just a casual.
Yeah, and then I found Mesut Ozil, and I was like, that guy's
What a
fun.
goat. Now he's retired.
Maybe. But anyway,
Still sadness. Melancholy Monday.
except for you over there, Mr. Philly, Mr. Brotherly Shove.
Look, that was like... My heart dropped at the end. I thought they were going to get the
My heart
touchdown.
dropped.
I really thought they did.
I honestly thought we were going to lose right there at the end.
We'll say happy Tony Pollard didn't get it because I played him in fantasy, and I really didn't need to win. So,
Whoever played CD,
good for them.
Again.
props.
I had Brandon Cooks. He threw to him once, and he got torched, so I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, 1 for 7 yards.
That's
Yeah,
the
I know.
point.
Joe did that too. Because he had Ridley and Debo on by. Yeah.
I forgot the Jags didn't.
R.I.P. Daniel Jones, though. I mean,
Yeah, that's
any
where we go
injury.
now.
Well, let's talk about that.
Let's not talk about the Philly Dallas game anymore. Let's just go R.I.P. Daniel Jones. Rest in peace, Brian Dable's rest of the year.
Maybe Dable will get fired and come back to Buffalo.
No, he's not getting fired.
He should.
He's not.
He should.
He's not.
They gave Daniel Jones $40 million a year.
No, that's a Shine fault.
Just get rid of the entire coaching staff.
No, it's probably going to be Wink Martindale
Clear
and
office.
the offensive coordinator because I don't even know who the heck the bum is, but he needs to go.
Listen,
He's a bum.
just clear house. Let every team clear house. If the Buccaneers are doing it, everyone else has to. It's not fair.
Follow the train.
If we have to burn our
You had Tom Brady
ships-
for 2 years. You don't get to argue that every team needs to clear house just because you are. You had the greatest quarterback of all time for 2 years.
Who was my quarterback before?
Famous Jameis.
Yeah.
He wasn't that bad.
Who was my quarterback?
30 for 30.
he was eating dubs.
You want to know who coached Jameis Winston for all those years? Dirk Coder. You want to know where he is now?
Where is he?
He's an interim coach at Boise State.
What an upgrade.
Man went from Tampa to Boise and said, dang, my career has panned exactly how I wanted it to.
This Monday sucks the most. Just because I have no words going through my head. It's just kind of fire in my head.
It's like the I'm fine dog,
No,
but it's not I'm fine.
it's
like,
me just rolling around in fire.
Oh, that's fun.
And my inner demons coming out. 'Cause I'm not happy.
You think I'm any better? Jeez, that I wish the Bills actually they showed life, and then they decided in the fourth quarter when there was still life
Still
to
alive.
move as slowly as possible. I bet you if you would put a sloth on the field, it would move faster than the Buffalo Bills getting to the line in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, question. When you're down by 2 scores, why are we strangling the clock?
Really great question. I don't know what the
when
point.
you're down 2 scores,
Why are we
let's not
challenging?
take 10 minutes to get 1 point,
Yeah.
1 score. Let's not do that.
You
Because
know-
that's not complimentary football, Sean McDermott, which
eh,
apparently you love.
And when you're down 2 scores with only 2 timeouts, really good job of using that challenge flag to challenge a sure field catch that pretty much you couldn't tell either way.
There was nothing there.
There
to
was
overturn
nothing.
it.
Whoever upstairs told you, please throw that flag. Fired. Gone.
I will say that
He needs to get out of the building. I hope he's like the Jets Hard Knocks guy, where he's like, let me in.
Jamal Adams?
I forgot who it was.
It's Jamal Adams.
I forgot. I just remembered the clip, man.
It's Jamal Adams.
And the crazy part is didn't they get a first down after that too? Or at least close
Yeah, we
to
made
a
the
first
third
down.
Yeah, or we basically got 7 yards on the second, and then we did Josh Tushbush,
I will say,
which is way more impressive than yours.
I didn't see the intentional grounding call.
Oh.
What was it?
That was a little weird.
Here. If we're going to talk about penalties now, let's start off with the first penalty of the night. Well, maybe not the first penalty of the night, but look, I'm going to throw the ball. I made you jump. You loser. Like taunting, and then later, the Cincinnati Bengals guy, I think on the interception, Cam Taylor-Britt, goes into the faces of Davis and Diggs, and he looks directly at them and probably is laughing at them. And that's not a taunting flag. What is taunting? What is taunting? Please give me the definition of taunting. The taunting is a point?
I'm pointing right now if anyone can
That's
see.
it? That's it. A point equals taunting.
I mean,
I think there's a very fine line.
in
Look,
in
this
Josh's
is gonna
case,
be-
yes, but
This is going to be the NFL version of the NHL wasn't a kick. You remember that episode?
I unfortunately do.
Give me a definition of taunting and tell me how that is taunting, while the other thing that is looking at people's faces, turning right to them and laughing at them is not taunting as well.
I think officiating yesterday was just at an all-time low.
Look, there was only one good thing from the officiating crew last night. One good thing.
Oh, I know you're playing.
Oh, yeah. You better know why I'm playing. The best thing I've seen happen during that whole game.
Offside, defense number 56. Sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
Sorry about
I thought you were
that.
going to play from the
Yeah.
Dolphins-Chiefs game.
No.
Y'all start defense or whatever it was. It was the Germany game. So instead of false start, he said, "Y'all start."
Oh, yeah, that one, too. Yeah, that was great, but
Yeah, I'm not doing my German voice today.
no German voice today.
Absolutely not. They don't deserve
Makes
it.
sense. I mean, really, this week doesn't deserve a German voice either.
I
because
mean,
of
at
the
least
game
a
that's
little
gonna
hope for you guys. Dolphins seriously can't win against good teams.
No,
They legitimately can't beat
and
good teams.
their defense stopped Kansas City for 14 points. If Tyreek, I don't know what that play call was. Anyway, that
Was it the
wide
one that-
receiver screen with Tyreek,
Was it the one that Tua underthrew or?
it was to the side of Tyreek, and
Oh.
then Tyreek had to turn,
Yeah.
and then the Kansas City guy just kind of ripped
rip-
it out,
Yeah.
and that caused the fumble, and then the lateral. How many times do you see, not on the last play of the game, a lateral? What, are we playing Madden? Please, let me know, Kansas City. But you first get the taunting, then you get the roughing the passer call by Jordan Phillips or Tim Settle? I think it was Tim Settle. Tim Settle comes around. I don't know what you want him to do. He doesn't hit him in the head. He doesn't put all his body weight on him. He doesn't try to drive him into the ground. The momentum carried him. What, you want me to put a pillow and a blanket on the field and we'll just lay him down like some 5-year-old kid? I'm at this point where the refs are more concerned about themselves than the actual product. And then you even got the no face mask call on Gabe Davis, where he does actually grab it. His head does snap. It snaps one way and then he has to look the other. Pretty easy call. I would assume a line judge could make it out. But one of the line judges looks like he hasn't reffed in 20 years and was stuck in a Denny's. Because, that's where all bums go.
Hey. Denny's is a magical place, and you calm down.
Fine, IHOP.
That's fair. I don't like IHOP.
Okay, well, go IHOP then. He ate too many pancakes, and then he became a pancake. He became a stack of pancakes.
Oh, that's mean.
Yeah. Well, it should be mean, but, when you don't call penalties that are right there, you kind of deserve it. And then, let's get to the intentional grounding call. Let's get to the call everybody has loved to talk about. So, Gabe Davis runs an option route. Gabe, instead of deciding to keep going upfield, runs a hook. Right? Pretty easy. He did that against the Buccaneers a couple of times. I mean, just as a reference. I'm just doing it as a reference, Frank. I'm not trying to be like, oh, yeah, but against it. No, I don't want to make me feel better.
Whoa, Frank.
Trust me, Frank. We're not at that point where you need to off yourself yet. But.
Yet.
Well, there may be someday. I mean, until Todd Bowles gets fired. But the intentional grounding call, Josh throws it way above everybody's head. Goes down the field longer. And they even had the ref specialist or the analyst, whatever you want to call him, because he doesn't deserve that title.
Dean Blandino.
We have Dean Blandino from New York. Dean, what did you see on that play? Nothing.
That's what it felt
like that.
He's like, well, you could throw it over the head of the wide receiver as far as you want, but that wasn't over the head of the wide receiver. So that's intentional ground. What? Wait. So you're telling me if a quarterback throws it to where they think the wide receiver should be, and it is not near the wide receiver, because we've seen multiple quarterbacks do this, that's an intentional grounding call. Are we making that a precedent? Are we making that a statement from the NFL that is now a rule? Because you are not telling me that just randomly appeared on Sunday Night Football to move the Bills out of field goal range to make Sam Martin punt. And Jesus, Sam Martin sucked last night. But you're telling me that rule appears out of nowhere. It just got randomly added to the scriptures of the NFL rulebook. Like, what do you want Josh to do? He got rid of the ball. It was pretty much going out of bounds.
The refs are ruining this league right now.
No,
the PI call on Stephon Gilmore last night. No offense, Chris. That was awful.
Yeah, that was awful.
The roughing the passer call, even though we hate Mac Jones, he got sacked.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Yeah, no. He got sacked. Right, he didn't touch his head. He leaned in with his shoulder, and he hit his other shoulder. That is, in definition, a sack.
Yeah. No, it's funny. On the Joe Burrow one, I forgot. The refs basically called it because Burrow just had to move his neck around. So it must have went by his head. Not like I saw it, though. But we're going to throw a flag on it anyway.
Some of these roughing the passing calls are questionable.
Even PI calls are getting a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
Bro's got a pinky on him. Flag.
No, it's getting to the point where people are now trying to come up with solutions. And one of the solutions I've seen is that the NFL should hire about, 40 to 65-year-old retired players and have them be refs.
I would stand behind that.
I would rock with it.
I think we would need like a sample size before I would say make that the whole
we can't
official
make all
thing.
refs just old player. Like it would have to be like
half.
We'll try it out with this game and see how they handle it.
But trust me, I think it would be 10 times better than
these guys on power trips
who are lawyers and not even full time, so they're not giving their full effort to being a ref.
Who are definitely, I think some are definitely being paid out of pocket.
Look, I would be concerned if one day I need a lawyer and I somehow get a lawyer who has reffed in the NFL. Let's just say I have the money for it. Man, I am feeling horrible. I'm like, I'm going to lose this case. I'm going to jail. Maybe even worse. Who knows?
They're going to miss so much evidence.
Yeah, oh, you only needed, really originally, it was only going to be like a $500 fine. Yeah, your lawyer was so bad, it gave you a year in prison. Huh? Like, that's how I feel the rest would do.
No, you got life without parole, buddy.
Or life without parole.
Or he's going to be like, sorry, I can't get to your court hearing. I got to game the ref today.
Sorry.
That's even the worst.
Jerry Jones just paid me $2.5 million to come out and help the Cowboys win, so... Sorry, bud, you're on your own.
No, it's funny. There was even, going back to the Philly-Miami game, there's some thoughts that there was some collusion with the refs in Philly. Because there was a former Eagles fan who was a ref at the game. I think he was a line judge. I don't think he was the head ref. He was one of the minor ones. But at one point, there is video of him talking to Sirianni, and Sirianni gives him a thumbs up like, thanks for that. And he says, no problem. There is video of it. and that ref has been known. He got caught once doing that before.
Care to explain, Chris?
I didn't see it.
Okay.
I'd have to see the video. I'd have to see the video.
Fine, we'll show you the video in the
Send me the video.
I have to re-find it, but yeah. But here's a little clip I found, which I think describes where we are as a whole, at least as fans, on the refs, and what the NFL should be doing.
I'm going with the NFL's absurd emphasis on trying to measure millimeter by millimeter where a dude's head is on short yardage plays. John Runyon getting called for not one, but two offensive offside penalties. Something he said he's literally lined up that way his whole entire football career, not just in the NFL, but going back all the way to when he started playing football. But now suddenly it's a penalty, and we all know what it is. It's because the Eagles are so successful on their tush push that now the NFL is like, we have to adjudicate this more stringently. It's nonsense. We're not here to watch the referees. We're here to watch football. Unbelievable from the NFL. Although I say that, it's totally believable because if there's one thing the National Football League hates, it's football.
I mean, isn't that true? The National Football League hates football at the end of the day. That was from Aaron Nagler.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, the refs have become such a pivotal part of the game. It's almost like a fourth phase of the game.
It's also
or a fifth phase.
It's become a point to where the second I see a flag thrown on the field, I just sigh.
Yeah.
After like a big play, I'm just like, what? What is it now?
Like, I can understand if it's clear as day. Like, I'm glad they make the holding calls that are clear. False start makes sense. Neutral zone infraction makes sense because they're all on guys at the line who jump or move. I mean, really, it just gets... It really gets nitpicky at pass interference, roughing the passer, taunting.
DPI, honestly, as well.
Well, yeah.
You said OPI.
Did I say? I
You
just said pass interference.
Calm down. That's what I said.
I mean, it's starting to come to a point where the ref's definition or what they think is a certain standard of that penalty is different than the rest of the refs on that field. Because usually, if I see 2 or 3 flags, I'm like, okay, 2 of the refs must have seen the same thing. They must have the same idea. It must be, like, completely wrong that whatever that player did. Because 2 refs flew their threw their flags right away. But I just see one coming late, or I see one coming way too early. You're just like, you gotta be kidding me. If you're good, like when you have about 5 to 10 seconds after the play has happened and you throw your flag, that just means you weren't sure. And if you're making the calls that affects the team one way or another, wouldn't you want to be 100% sure in your call?
Yeah, adding on to that, Dan, I feel like those flags that get thrown out, they have couple minute conversation about all right, what are we gonna say what this flag is for?
Yeah.
And then even if they pick it up, it looks like they're idiots.
Yeah.
And because then you're just like, well, then what was the point of the flag? If the rest of you agree that the one was out of line, why can't you all have a central idea of what it is and only call what your central idea is?
I don't know. There's a great College Humor skit. I think it's College Humor, where it's just a bunch of refs and they throw the flag, and then they all come together, and it's like, all right, what are we calling on? He goes, well, pass interference on our defense, and it's like, whoa, I have him on fantasy.
Yeah,
we can't do that. And it's like, oh, but I've also got him on fantasy, so we can't call that. So then they just try and get on someone else. Who's like, I've got him on fantasy. You can't let that happen. So they just finally figure out what to do, and then everyone else comes in. So then the players also have him on fantasy.
Yep. And then it's like, okay, we're going to do this and then this. It's like a taunting call, so it affects on the kickoff. And then, it's like a whole process. And it's just like, dude, at some point, you just got to get your act together.
I will say, probably fantasy right now is the only reason I'm watching football. I don't care anymore.
I'm still watching
I'm watching it because it's football, and I got nothing else to do better on a Sunday. But
I'm gonna watch Bills football until I die, no matter if they're doing good or doing bad. I mean, remember, most of you did not have to live through your whole childhood being a drought.
Hey, I was
without playoffs
in my 20s when the Eagles won their first Super Bowl. So.
Oh, Super Bowl, Schmooper Bowl. At least you were in the playoffs multiple times. Yeah, okay. You have a Super Bowl too. Of course, you weren't alive, but
I have 2.
You have.
He was alive for one,
right?
In 2021.
Yeah.
Wait, but what was the first one?
03 against the Raiders.
Okay, it was 03. That's why I was saying
I was
03.
alive.
Okay.
I was 6 months. Or no, I was 8 months.
Oh, so you don't even remember it.
But he was still alive.
Of course I don't remember.
I don't count it. I don't count it. You only won one.
The only big sporting thing I remember, my first memory, is Rays losing.
Oh, that's fun.
I think my first Eagles memory is losing in the Super Bowl against the Patriots.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, it's very sad.
At least you have those memories. I just remember Stevie Johnson dropping a pass against Pittsburgh and then having Chan Gailey as a head coach.
Oof. At least you didn't have Chip Kelly as a head coach.
Honestly, might have preferred him over
You'd rather have
Chan.
Chip Kelly over...
Honestly,
Chip Kelly? oh, no!
What is your take on
Who's
Doug
better,
Marrone?
Chip or Chan? Who's better, Chip or Chan? Need that in the...
You want Dirk Coder?
I want Jim Bob Cooter.
I'll say
The face.
I'll say I liked having John Gruden and Tony Dungy.
Yeah?
Bring back Rex Ryan.
No.
Yes!
Never.
That's what this Bills team needs, is Rex
No.
Ryan.
No. You know who we really need?
I'm a Rexaholic.
You know who we really need? Jim Schwartz.
You need Rex
Ooh.
Ryan.
We should have never...
Yeah, I don't know why they
hired-
ever...
We never should have hired Rex. In all honesty, I was never excited for Rex because it caused Schwartz to leave, and
Yeah.
I thought Schwartz really brought out the best in that defense.
He definitely brings out the best in every defense that he's...
Well, yeah, you
coaching.
look at Cleveland. It was
Yep.
a demolishing.
I mean, speaking of head coach,
Clayton Tune, more like who tuned this guy up?
let's look at the Raiders. Look at them.
Well, we'll talk more of them after the break. We'll talk. We'll move over to the rest of the league. We'll spend probably a good, segment or two talking about the rest of the league.
Yeah.
And then the one game tonight that the Bills need one team to lose.
I don't want
Breaking news in baseball. If I don't know.
Yes,
Frank,
we'll get to
did you
that.
get-
We'll
okay.
get to hockey.
So
We'll get to all the other sports, at least in the last segment. So we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll continue to keep talking about the Bills and the Bengals game last night. We'll move over to the rest of the league. We'll go over the Ravens actually not being a fraud. I cannot say they are a fraud anymore. I have been proven wrong. We'll talk about the Browns finding a way to win. Josh Dobbs, the most amazing debut I think you could ever ask for a guy you just traded for 5 days prior. So keep listening to the Blitz on 91.3 FM.
In this game, trying to throw quick. Dobbs is going to try and outrun the defender, and he gets another first down. Dobbs has a touchdown for the Vikings. He kept it himself.
First off, he knows this is great because he knows he's picked up. Right here, tackle's going to come off. He knows that. He takes his time, slides in the pocket, little pump fake right there to Ellis. And then everybody just giving him some opportunity outside, getting some blocks for him. But that's one thing he's got. He's got some athletic.
Welcome back to the Blitz on 91.3 FM. That was Josh Dobbs getting his first rushing touchdown with the Vikings after Jaren Hall went down with a concussion where Dobbs had to be rushed in. Probably one of the best debut stories you will ever hear. My name is still Dan Dale, Double D, still joined by Frank Tank and Chris Jacobello, Mr. Philly. And, I mean, let's lead off with this game. Minnesota, Atlanta, pretty much started. Jaren Hall had it. I mean, he did lead it off with a field goal. He was doing pretty well, and then he's out with a concussion. Guy who you just traded for has to come in, be the quarterback, be your star, who has never taken a snap from the center, who has barely touched that offensive line or met the people. He didn't even know their names, he said. Like most of the guys' names.
He was practicing his cadence on the sideline before he went in.
Right, yeah, there's video of him like telling them, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and just be ready to do what you need to do. And like, I'll make the play. Don't worry about it. Just do your job, get open, and I'll go from there. Just give me time. And Minnesota gave him more than enough time where now they're actually in a spot in the playoffs right now after starting 1-4.
I've loved Josh Dobbs when he was first announced as a starter for Arizona, and they were proving, even though obviously they kept losing games, it's Arizona. That's what they're going to do. But I felt like he was probably the most impressive player on that team and was actually a decent, competent quarterback. So then once they traded him to Minnesota, I was like, Arizona messed up, and this is massive for Minnesota. Proved it right there on national television. And I think his story has been one of the best in like recent history.
Yeah, that was a game-winning drive he had at the end, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's definitely got that clutch feature. I don't know why Arizona let him go.
He's got
to be
that-
honest.
Because Arizona wants to tank.
Dog.
They
And
want
they didn't
Caleb
even activate
Williams.
Kyler Murray off the PUP list.
Nope. Clay and Tune, baby.
COD's coming out soon, so he wants to stay on there.
Well,
Comes out the 10th.
Tyler doesn't
He's
want to
expected
play.
the 12th. Todd comes out the 10th. We're not
He's
seeing him
like,
for the rest of the year.
Coach, can you put me back on that PUP list?
but I just think there's now a major discussion if Atlanta should fire Arthur Smith, which I think almost everybody has agreed on and said, yes!
Yes.
He just needs to go. He's a horrible coach. I even, like, some people were just realizing it for the first time. Arthur Smith actually isn't that good of a coach. It's like, never was.
Never was.
Never
on
will
4th and
be.
1 on the goal line, you have Bijan Robinson.
And
What
you'd
do you
rather
do?
use Jonnu Smith and out.
So you try and out
here.
route with Jonnu Smith at the goal line.
Yep.
How do you think that worked out? No, it didn't score. So stupid. I can't believe we lost to that team.
I mean, Frank, you should actually be happy about that. Because
No, I shouldn't, because we should be in first place, but we're not, because we lost to the Texans and gave up 470 yards and 5 touchdowns.
But you should be happy that it still gives you an opportunity later in the year to go, hey, we can climb over these guys. And you've had 2 unlucky losses in a row. What can you do? That's the football league that we're in. I mean, at the end of the day, it is 2 very unlucky losses.
Question. I don't know if anyone's like, but just I want to get everyone consensus, because right now Buck's Twitter and Buck's Instagram is very split, but it's been more heavy on one side.
Mm-hmm.
Baker, stay or go?
Stay.
Good.
Why not?
I've seen so many things saying Baker's the problem. Baker, he's not disciplined. I'm like,
I don't know why everyone hates him so much.
He has been
everybody
playing
hates
like
a top 15 quarterback this year, and yet for some reason, everyone's saying we draft a quarterback in this upcoming draft. We have Kyle Trask. We're not drafting a quarterback.
I think if you get him an offensive coordinator that could do his job, or
we get him an offensive line,
maybe a more capable head coach,
a little more weapons to add.
I don't even think we need. I think offensively we're fine. We put up 37.
Yeah. I mean, how much more can you ask for?
Look,
this isn't Philly where you expect like 70 every game.
I don't need 4 running backs in their prime right now.
We don't even use like
exactly.
It just makes
you
no
use
sense.
a quarterback
and
over
you
all
keep
of them.
adding to it.
It
so
makes no sense. I don't know why we added Rashad Penny. I really don't. Like
because you wanted him.
This day,
why is Kenneth Gainwell still getting snaps?
I don't know why DeAndre Swift is not running the ball constantly, but it's whatever. Brian Johnson, you do you, my guy.
We put up.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't want to say we almost beat the Bills, but if that
you almost did.
Yeah.
No, in the last 5 weeks, almost every team has beat us or beat us.
Like it's not like we're getting. Well, no, we did get blown out a little bit the last game, but still, we're not offensively.
No, you're
I think
not.
We're fine.
Your defense has been laying you down each time.
And it's said it last week. The backbone of our team is the defense. It's been the most lackluster defense I've seen in such a long time.
And it's a Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles is a great coordinator. I will not say anything bad about Todd Bowles as a defensive coordinator. Todd Bowles as a head coach.
The worst thing I've ever seen.
That's how you know your team is going down the drain.
Yeah, some coaches are just coordinators. Some are
like Josh McDaniels. And we'll get to that too, because that was a whole.
Raiders win big though.
They do. Good for them.
Good for them.
I'm happy for Devontae. I'm happy for that entire team.
Yeah. But moving on, let's go back up a couple of hours and talk about the Chiefs-Dolphins game. I know we just kind of touched on it. The Chiefs and Dolphins do not look good. Either way. The offensive juggernauts have come to a wall, and they can't figure out how to get over the wall.
I would say probably the Bengals are the hottest team right now in the AFC.
I would say the Bengals or the Ravens.
Bengals and the Ravens are the two hottest team in the AFC.
And then the Chiefs' defense has just been carrying the offense, unlike years past where the Chiefs' offense was carrying the defense.
They can score enough where the defense can probably let up 3 touchdowns and they'd be fine. But now it's like, if the Chiefs only get 3 touchdowns, maybe even 2 touchdowns and a field goal, it's like, well, it's over.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do.
No, I think a lot of people are still like, oh, the Bills are never going to be able to beat the Chiefs like this. And it's like, they're not having a spectacular year. You could honestly go up and beat them. It's not that hard, I think, this year to beat the Chiefs. I mean, Denver did it. The Lions did it, and I'm starting to waver on the Lions again. I'm up and down. I'm like, 1 week, they're like the top of the world. Next week, it's like, how is this team as good as they are?
Yeah. That's been this entire season.
Yeah.
No offense, 8-1, fantastic start.
But your team, it's like every team has been a roller coaster. Probably except the Panthers and the Bears have been like constant, we hate life.
What do you mean? Tyson Bagent had an amazing debut.
Well, he did, but I mean, really, that's what you want to be your positive for your year? A D2 quarterback who was not supposed to play at all looks better than your actual starter.
San Fran loses 3 in a row. They look.
Yeah.
Something's got to change. Like I said, Eagles being 8-1, good for them. Obviously, top of the entire league. But I feel like that 8-1 record isn't like.
It's a generous 8-1.
It's a not
It's
how
like you
they
could
look.
give the Bills a generous 7-2.
Yeah.
Like every team could be either way better than their record or way worse
Yeah,
at any point.
I think we've overhyped each team. Like I said, 8-1, amazing record.
Because there's games that like I will say right now they should have lost.
Both Commanders games.
Both Commanders, the Patriots, in all honesty, Cowboys. Honestly,
Yeah.
that was just a squeak at the very end. That's like 4-5 games right there.
Right. No, I definitely think, even though it's been up and down, I think it makes the NFL a little bit more exciting. Because
does,
you're like,
but
you
it's just
never
a-
know
It's
Yeah.
just wacky.
what week you're going to get. Is your team going to, like, I love referring to the coin toss. Are you the good team on heads or the bad team on tails?
That's Dallas.
I mean, that's almost everywhere now. Let's move on to Seattle and the Ravens. The Ravens absolutely demolished them, 37-3. I don't know how much you need to say this game, except that Lamar Jackson let down fantasy owners.
And Odell got his first TD with the
Yeah,
Ravens
on his birthday. Was it his birthday?
OBJ?
Yeah, I think he got on.
I
I
have no
don't
idea.
know. But I know it was
All I know-
300 and what was it? 366 games since his last touchdown,
Games?
Almost
Games.
a whole year.
I believe.
games.
days.
Or not games, days.
Days. Okay, so
No,
Days.
holy-
Sorry.
I think his last touchdown was the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's way more than
that
300.
was wasn't
That's
that
like
like
500
2
days.
years? Yeah.
I remember seeing a stat somewhere.
I think that's closer. Yeah, because the first half was all OBJ,
Yeah.
and then that's when the Bengals started to come back in the second half when OBJ got hurt.
And then he was out for the whole year.
Yeah, well,
Almost.
out. He was
Right.
just looking to find. He was just trying to go somewhere. No one wanted him yet.
Right. Because nobody knew what he was going to look like. And nobody wanted to take the chance and be like, yeah, we really want to give you a lot of money. And
Yeah, still not worth the money. I don't care.
Yeah.
Ravens are still a good team, but he's not worth the money.
yeah.
No, it's been.
No, I agree.
It's been since Super Bowl was his last touchdown.
Yep.
I forget he's a champion.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting he has a Super Bowl to his name.
He has
And
one of
it's
the best
deserved.
plays ever, and he has a Super Bowl ring.
And on it, he came in late for that Rams team, but
yeah.
he was putting out.
He was going to be MVP.
He would have been
if
MVP
he did not get
didn't
hurt.
Because that entire first half was there's Odell again.
Mhm.
Odell at it again.
Oh, I did also forget to add one thing about the Falcons game, and it's a cause of the Falcons losing. Arthur Smith shaved his mustache.
Shut up. Stop
What
it.
big news, right? Got rid of the mustache so he doesn't look like a creep no more.
I liked the mustache.
Did you like the mustache? I hated the
I
mustache.
think mustaches are cool.
I'm
I
not
can't- I
saying
can't
that,
have
but I'm
one 'cause
saying
I
on
look
him.
Disgusting, but if you can have a good mustache, you look good.
Moving on.
Yeah, whatever.
Let's go to the Cardinals and the Browns, where the Cardinals, even though they have a quarterback named Tune, they did not have a good tune on Sunday. The Browns defense completely just took that game and ran. I mean, what? I think most people, if you played them in fantasy, got like 19 points at least.
Yeah.
At least. If Arizona is not tanking, I don't know what they're doing. I really do believe Jonathan Gannon's going to be a one-year coach. He's not getting another year.
Bum.
The Eagles just dropped it off and said, here you go.
Well, that's what he gets for interviewing midway through the playoffs. Karma.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense. But the Browns actually looked like they have a capable team, but of course it's against the
I
Cardinals.
see the Cardinals QB only finished for 58 yards.
Yeah, no, it was
That
horrible.
is terrible.
No,
It
the
was
the
really
only
bad.
worst performance I've heard of this season is Tommy Danny DeVito going -1 on passing yards. And we even have to talk about Tommy Danny DeVito at some point. But moving on to the next game, Packers-Rams, where the Packers just ran away with it. Another team that just kind of did enough to stay alive, hold the Rams to nothing. Nakua and Kupp have another ineffective week where they do absolutely nothing. Stafford out with his thumb. Now they're going on bye. What does the Rams team need to do to change?
Probably get Matthew Stafford back.
Well, that's a great start.
It doesn't seem like they can perform without Matthew Stafford.
A lot of people are saying to trade away Matthew Stafford or to just draft a new quarterback in general. And I'm like,
I don't
dude,
even
when
know.
he's fully healthy,
Yeah, he can.
you guys are a wild card team.
He can still sling that ball.
Like, it's not Stafford's fault that your whole GM and coach just decided to say, F them picks. Not Stafford's fault. He got a Super Bowl out of it.
Yeah. They went all in that 1 year, not thinking, oh, we also have future years ahead of us.
Yeah.
But,
Well, it's coming to bite their butt now.
yeah.
We already talked about Buccaneers-Texans. We don't need to continue on that game. But then we go to the Washington Commanders and the New England Patriots, where Bill Belichick is still trying to fight that his decisions are right.
What do you mean?
He's 2-7.
I know.
I mean that he can't. He's trying to defend himself so hard where at the end of the season he may get put in a upstairs position.
Who would have thought we would have seen a Bill Belichick team at 2-7? Okay. We all did.
Because
I absolutely could have seen it.
yeah, I mean, when you actually saw Brady gone, or at least we got a hint of it when he got suspended for the 4 games, which he only served 3 of because he actually won the court case. But
It's my goat.
my goat. But nonetheless, I mean, you saw Jimmy Garoppolo and Jacoby Brissett come out.
Yep.
And one of the games was against the Bills, and they looked horrible. Like, just down horrid.
I mean, and then I don't even think maybe this even has anything to do with it, but I would. Look at his coaching tree.
Yeah.
Every time they leave, they're awful. They're
Yeah.
horrendous.
Yeah.
They're some of the worst coaches.
Yeah.
Matt
Nick
Patricia.
Saban in the NFL.
I mean,
Prime
the only
example.
one who was a good coach until he was made a GM was Bill O'Brien.
Yeah.
He was the one with the most success. It is funny. I think there's a stat that out there that Bill Belichick has never been Josh McDaniels as a coach. Which is a crazy stat,
What?
right? Yeah. I don't believe that McDaniels has lost to Bill Belichick. Even though McDaniels is a considerably worse coach, he has always beaten the master. Of course, then one guy, the now interim coach mentions the 2007 Giants team and then gets ticked and says, "Don't ever talk about the Patriots again that way." Yeah, there's a reason you got fired, buddy. You're still Patriots homer at heart. Just is. He needs to go home. Find something else to do. Get a hobby instead of making your whole personality the Patriots. It's a pretty hard thing to do. I mean, come on. That you're coaching a new team that you should be excited to be playing and coaching every week. You have one of the best wide receivers in the league, one of the best running backs in the league, one of the best defensive ends in the league. And you're telling me you still care about the Patriots team that you're not a part of? And the guy didn't even mention the Patriots? He just took it as a shot at the Patriots? Okay. Max Crosby even today went on the Pat McAfee show to talk about it, about the whole meeting. And he said, yeah, a lot of people had to air the grievances, and a lot of people did. And he even said, I was one of them. So, but that whole story of that McDaniels didn't even want to talk to the players, so he had the now interim coach get up there and speak for him. That's just beyond levels of giving up. That's like digging yourself a grave. You're just expecting death to come. Honestly, you're just waiting for the moment.
Yes.
Glad, so much insight here. Then moving on to Saints Bears. Saints win 24-17. Saints are now number 1 in the NFC South. Kind of expected, but also the Bears put up a really good fight. Do you think the Bears go back to Justin Fields?
No.
I don't think they should.
Yeah, I don't think.
Give Justin Fields one more shot, and if he really doesn't look like a good quarterback, just keep Tyson Bagent in.
Yeah, just move on. I mean, if you're giving him an extra chance and he doesn't,
Succeed.
There's nothing much you can do at that point.
I mean, really, this is the big game too, because Thursday night, Thursday night this week, it's the Bears and the Panthers.
Toilet bowl.
What a great Thursday night game that we all have to look forward to, because that actually will decide if the Bears get the first overall pick or the first overall pick.
You know what? Never mind. This Thursday night football game is about to be electric for all the wrong reasons. Why do we keep...
The only scorers are on defense.
Why do we keep putting these teams on prime time? Why?
And the NFL doesn't want to move them. They have the option to move a couple of games.
They looked at Broncos moving the Broncos out against the Bills.
Didn't feel like doing that?
They're like, no.
No, we're good.
Whatever. Well, that scheduling's awful. NFL's awful right now. There's no point. When's baseball back?
140 some days.
Too long.
Too long.
But at least hockey's here to
yep, sure.
console
Guess
your
so.
feelings.
Yeah.
I mean, you play tonight, so maybe it makes you feel a little bit better.
No. It doesn't. Kachuk gets his 500 point. We lose. What's the point?
It's a lot of...
What's the point? Sergey's not in net. There's no point. We still haven't called up Spencer Knight. What's the point? We still haven't paid Sam Reinhart. What's the point? What's the point anymore?
It's a lot of negativity going on over there, Frank.
Why
I have
would there
nothing
not
to be happy about right now. Nothing.
No,
Remember
there's-
what Ted
yeah.
Lasso said. Believe.
Yeah, I know the
Yeah,
stupid sign and
Believe.
then jumping.
Great, Chris. Great insight.
I have Orlando City.
Are they still in the MLS?
We won our first game. I think
Oh, they did?
tomorrow night we play, and if we beat them, we move on. I always forget how stupid the MLS playoffs
Yeah,
is.
that's why I couldn't follow it.
It's American.
It is American.
Because
It
it's
is
like-
purely,
Is it a
purely
best
American.
of series or like?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's best of 3 in the opening round. I think then it goes. I think it's just best of 3 the entire time.
Yeah.
That's-
No,
I
my New
never
York Red
understood
Bulls
that.
are already out.
I never understood that.
Yeah, well, no one likes the Red Bulls.
I do. No, there's a good reasoning for it. though.
Thierry Henry.
No, I did not know soccer at all when I was
By
probably.
the way, they play in Jersey.
I
They
understand
play in Jersey.
the two legs, like in Champions League, but like when it comes to like, why are you going to
or
do a best
aggregates
of?
or anything.
Yeah.
It's just,
Why are you going to do a best of?
why do you like the Red Bulls?
Oh, because back when there was FIFA 13 or FIFA 12 for the 3DS, I just went for the New York Red Bulls
It's just a
and had the time of my life.
You should have waited at least one more year. Then you got NYCFC.
Yeah.
Came in the same year as Orlando.
Yeah, I'll take the Red Bulls. It's okay.
They play in Jersey. They play deep in Jersey too.
You know what? I don't think about that. The only time I care about, it's not like Buffalo has a professional soccer team. If there was a
should.
Buffalo professional soccer team, then I'd have a problem with themselves calling themselves New York. But
You have Toronto FC. I mean, fair.
Yeah.
They are pretty. They're bottom of the table.
every time I hear the Canadians, after the game, talk about them, because they have that little mic going around,
Yeah.
and because I think they're all Canadian who show up at the games.
Well, Toronto
I mean,
FC,
there's
they're
probably a
bad
couple
blood.
Americans, but still, nonetheless,
I don't
it's
think
like
any Americans.
they
like
just
Toronto
they
FC.
just hate their life. They're like, this team could be so much better than it is.
Who's their star?
I
Who
have no
was their
clue.
star? Zimmer? Not Zimmer. The bald guy.
Oh, for Toronto?
Yeah.
Giovinco?
No.
He played for Toronto, though.
He did.
He was
Perlo
bald.
played for NYCFC.
Yeah. And David Villa played for NYCFC.
We had Kaká and Nani. And then we find out Chicharito's not staying.
Oh, yeah, he's not going back to
The
LA.
Galaxy. What a shame.
What a
Zlatan was in the league.
Yeah.
What a forgotten legend. Yeah, Zlatan was here like one season. It was like, I'm
Destroyed the
out.
league and was like,
It's like,
I'm
you
done.
guys suck. I'm out. I'm going back to Europe.
he's such a great footballer. I love the way he speaks
Most
in the third
underrated
person.
goat of all time.
Yep.
Anyway, let's talk about another sport.
Another
that
football?
Has nets. Oh, let's talk about hockey.
No.
You want to get
Not
back to
yet.
What are
Yeah, we're almost done.
with what?
The rest of the games.
Oh, I forget. There's more football.
There's 2 games left that we really have to talk about.
We really have to. What are the 2 games?
Colts and Panthers. How the Colts actually looked like a decent team. How Frank Reich just couldn't beat his old team,
What do
and
you
Jim
mean the
Irsay was
Colts
probably
actually
laughing.
looked like a decent team. They've looked like a decent team all year.
No, they haven't. I don't think so. In my mind,
What?
I think they have spurts.
All right. Thank God we did talk about this.
Now he's like, all right, now I'm with it.
The Colts haven't looked like a decent team all year.
I think they've looked like a team with first-year luck.
They've had ups and downs.
I mean, I just think Shane Steichen is an amazing coach. And even though I love my Minshew mania, there's a reason he's not a starting quarterback anywhere in the league. He throws too many interceptions.
Well, he didn't have a single one against Carolina, Dan.
Because that's Carolina. Carolina sucks. Plus, Brian Burns is hurt, so.
The Colts are a good team. I don't care what you say.
You don't care what I say.
The Colts
That happens
have
a lot.
looked like a good team. Am I wrong?
I don't think you are, Frank. I mean, yeah, like you said, they're a good team. Definitely had ups and downs, but
Yeah, obviously.
not
because
terrible.
They're not a perfect team.
Yeah.
Look, I need Jim Irsay to come on the show to really.
They're not a terrible team.
No,
I didn't say they were terrible. I just didn't
you
say
just
they
said
were
they looked
good.
like a decent team. They've looked like a decent team all year.
I'd say they're better than decent.
Yes.
I mean, the teams they beat are the Panthers, the Titans, the Texans, and the Ravens.
They beat the Ravens.
The Ravens in overtime where Justin Tucker missed 3 field goals.
You won the game.
He missed 3 field goals.
Won the game.
How many other times does Justin Tucker miss 3 field goals?
Won the game.
And that was C.J. Stroud's second week in the league.
And that's when we were saying that he was going to be Offensive Rookie of the Year for sure.
There's only 20 points on the board.
Yes.
And then you had the Titans, which were led by Ryan the Bum Tannehill.
All right. Still. they
And then the
beat
Panthers, who
That doesn't matter.
don't have a quarterback.
That part doesn't matter. The Panthers game you could throw up. You still beat the Ravens. You have that.
So, Frank, I'll say this. If they beat your Bucks, I'll call them a decent team.
It doesn't need to happen.
Happens in 2 weeks. That game happens in 2 weeks. Face the Patriots in Germany this week. What a game to wake up early for.
Colts?
Colts,
Colts and
Patriots.
Patriots. That game's in Germany?
Yep.
We're not in Germany?
I thought we were done with the
No.
international series.
Nope. No, it's Colts.
Are they the last one, or is there
This is the
another
last international game, I believe.
for
Yes.
this year?
For this year.
For this
yes.
year, okay.
No more fun music on Fridays.
No more waking up at 9:30 in the morning on Sunday.
That's always a positive. I'll
Fine.
make that bet. If they beat your Bucks, they're a good team.
I think they're a decent team without having to beat the Bucks.
I think they have to show a little bit more until I call them a decent team.
Whatever. What's the
I
other
mean,
game?
it doesn't help that they lost AR-7
What's the
for
other
the
game?
rest
What's
of
the
the
other
year.
game? What's the other game?
We got to talk about tonight's game.
Oh.
The Chargers and the
And
Jets. And how much of a horrible game this is going to be.
How much of a bum Zach Wilson is.
I really think this is just going to be a bad game. I think it's going to be very little offense, or if all the offense is from Austin Eckler, because the Jets have a very bad run defense. Because I don't know how much Keenan Allen is doing, and then Quentin Johnston. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, man. But then you have Garrett Wilson probably going to get 20 targets this game because Zach Wilson decides to throw to nobody else. Like, everybody's like, oh, look, Allen Lazard is going to be healthy. Who cares? Does anybody really care? No? You know why? Because Zach Wilson doesn't throw to him. Like, he's thrown to him maybe once every game. Maybe twice, if he gets lucky. Zach Wilson just says, screw it, Garrett's got it.
If it works, it works.
I hate that.
That's why they're second in the AFC East.
No, they're still third. At this moment, they are.
No.
Or no.
No,
I
they're not.
thought
They're
they're second.
Why would they be second right now?
Because they have a
4-3
game.
better record.
Yeah. I was gonna say they.
Yeah, and guess what? You're third in your division as well, so I wouldn't get too happy, bucko.
I see what you did there.
Called you out, Frank.
And man, if Carolina wasn't so bad, you would be last.
That's not true.
Are we sure that's
Go
not
back
true?
to-
Are we sure that's not true? Adam Thielen, dog.
I'm putting my head down for us this show. You guys got it.
Say, I don't want to be a part of this anymore.
Todd Bowles, bum. Frank has put his head down
He's
and
sad.
is here. I'll just turn off his mic for him. It's okay.
The emotions he's gone through this weekend.
And he even has a Red Bull with him, and it's not doing energy.
Zero effect.
Zero effects this week. You want to be back on, buddy? Okay, here
He
you
wants
go.
back in.
Chris, does your finger feel a little heavy? Because mine does. From 1, 2.
See, I don't start these things. I just want that to be known. Dan, I want you to
fingers
know
feel-
that I don't start.
My
No,
fingers
no,
feel-
I
don't
understand.
start those.
This is what happened at the Bills-Bucks game that I was at. I didn't say. I said my mindset going into the game was I'm not going to bring up 0-4. I'm not going to bring up Super Bowls. Then some guys started pressing me, and that's when I turned into like, all right, bud. Enjoy your AFC Championship. Enjoy your divisional rounds, bud. I'll enjoy my Super Bowls.
And who got the W this year? Because my whole hand felt pretty heavy holding down that W, and it took a big weight off of my back, giving you an L.
It's fine. My finger will be heavy for the rest of my life.
Oh, it's okay. The L will crush your back.
Oh, it's fine. You know, my arm will feel pretty heavy because what's this? Was that the Super Bowl that we won in the past 5 years? Oh, it is. That's crazy.
Who has Todd Bowles as their head coach? Not me.
Who has a Super Bowl? 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 Who has a Super Bowl?
It's bad when all your argument is, who has the Super Bowl? Who has Super Bowl?
How is that a bad argument when it's the only argument people like to make?
Because it's the most known argument
Yeah.
that you're losing
Because
an
it
argument.
works.
That you're losing an argument. Look, there's the same complaint about Yankees fans.
I don't ever bring up 27, but that's so stupid.
Yeah, when was the last time they even
09.
Oh, 09, yeah.
Listen, when I get tested, that's how I respond. It's just win a Super Bowl.
Look, are we sure Tom Brady didn't deflate those balls in the Super Bowl?
Listen, we've all spent our lifetimes hating Tom Brady, and just because he came to me and I had to like him again doesn't mean you have to bully me for it, all right? His past problems Don't leech on to me.
Wow, Bruce Arians really said, I quit after that Super Bowl. Wonder
He said-
why.
He said, I'm not making the same mistake Belichick made. I'm going out on top.
And then who'd he had the reins to? Todd Bowles! Ah!
Fire Sean McDermott. Fire entire Bills offense, defense, every coordinator. Clear office.
Okay. That doesn't affect me.
So Jets Chargers, huh?
Back to the game.
I think it's
I was
good.
waiting for you to say something.
I'm sorry. Jeez. I thought you were going to carry it. It's
How
okay.
am I going to carry? You're the host. I'm just here for input.
Wow.
I'm here for moral support.
But but you just had an argument like 2 minutes
Moral
ago.
support. Making Bills fans depressed one ring at a time. That sounds about right. But yeah, no, Bills. Chargers, Jets.
In MetLife.
What do you think the score is going to be at the end of the day?
Oh, God. 28 Chargers, 17 Jets.
17-14 Chargers.
Wow.
Why do I honestly think that this could be one of the slowest moving games ever? Defensive battle. 10-7.
Chargers don't have a defense.
Chargers defense shows up when Chargers defense wants to.
Oh, you mean that one
Like
game
the Mike
where-
McCarthy.
Yeah, where he gets
Khalil
where
Mack
Khalil
had like
Mack
6
just
sacks.
becomes God.
And then that's it for the rest of the year?
Yep.
No, it's going to be... I think it's going to be a fun game. I'm excited.
I'm glad because they'll lose tonight. Jets will lose.
Jets? Probably, yeah.
At least
I just said that. We
Yeah.
agree that the Jets are going to lose.
I know.
If they do, does that
Bills.
are they still in second though? Or
No,
does
they're
that,
third
That okay, so that
because
moves them
then they
back
have
down to
5
third.
losses.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 is worse than 4.
Mathematically,
Math.
that is correct.
Statistically speaking, I think you're right. Dan.
Number work that way.
Oh, my God.
But we're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, we'll talk about hockey, talk about the Sabres, how the Flyers are
They're
impervious to the symbiote suit. We'll talk about the Sabres even being Toronto the next day.
Oh, I have such a sick joke for that.
Oh, that's good. Save it till after the break. You've been listening to The Blitz on 91.3 FM.
The Sabres played yesterday. Last night against the Philadelphia Flyers. They got kicked up and down the ice. They got dominated. They had injuries. And they come into Toronto second half of a back-to-back with travel. And here's what the Leafs allowed them to do in their own building. This is from Sportlogic, okay? Goals, as we know, were 6-4. Expected goals, 4.93 to 2.56. So basically 5 to 2.5. Puck in ozone time. Sabres beat them by nearly 3 minutes. Shots, 41 to 29 for the Sabres. After the Sabres took the lead, they had the puck the vast majority of the time. Slot shots on net, 20 to 15. High danger scoring chances, 23 to 14 for the Sabres. Scoring chances off the rush, Sabres beat them, 8-4. Turnover scoring chances, 13 to 7. Sabres beat them. And this one, after the discussion from yesterday, the day before, players have their own meeting. They're soft. They don't stick up for each other. Puck battle win percentage, 72.7% in favor of the Sabres. And
Welcome back to The Blitz on 91.3 FM. My name's still Dan Daniel, joined by Frank the Tank and Chris Giacobello. And that was Steve Dangle, famous Toronto Maple Leafs fan, does a video after every game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And man, did that feel good after the Sabres win, which they so desperately needed. I mean, in all honesty, the Flyers, like he said, kicked our butts at home with the symbiote suit on. Like, trust me, it was probably one of the worst games I have ever seen the Sabres play in black and red. It was horrid. Frank, you have a joke or a point?
You know, the black and reds are the symbiote suits. The Phillies, the Flyers, the Philly Flyers, whatever.
The traffic cones.
Yeah. You know, they seem to be the one team, able to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird that, they're the only city known for having a large bell that creates such a large reverberation. What's Venom's big
I
weakness?
think you're
What's the symbiote
onto
suit?
something, Frank.
When the Flyers, they score, they ring that bell. The symbiote starts acting a little wonky on the Sabres, and they can't, refocus. That's it. That's my point. I thought it was funny.
The bell was the real reason.
The bell.
The bell.
They brought the Liberty Bell up to Buffalo.
They start
Hit it in Key Bank somewhere. We just couldn't hear the frequencies.
Exactly. It's only the symbiote suits that's able to get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So great. So great.
I just high-five myself.
I mean, watching that game was just a disaster from up, down, left, right. I could not believe I was watching that game with my own eyes.
I didn't watch the game. I just asked my friend, what's the score update? He goes, 4-0.
Yeah.
And I go, what
Well,
happened?
What happened?
And then he goes 4-1. And they
Yep.
go, okay, we'll come back. And it's 5-1. But,
Oh, you mean when Devin Levi scored? Oh, you don't know that? Oh, so ESPN
How did...
decided not to do any research on who actually scored the goal. So when they put out the notification for who scored, it was Devin Levi, 1, unassisted,
Whoa.
They're saying this man just had an absolute just...
on the bench. Wasn't even playing that game. Levi didn't play. Levi was on the bench.
How do you manage to mess
Yeah,
that up?
Beyond me.
Really?
That's ESPN, man. Frank cannot believe hearing this right now. That ESPN made much of a joke of themselves.
ESPN sucks at hockey, bro.
They do.
How
They
do you,
honestly do.
how do you mess up a mass app notification with Devin Levi, who's on the bench? Not a... Bro. Well, I guess that's ESPN and hockey for you.
Right? I mean, it was pretty funny where everybody's just like, oh, yeah, Devin Levi scored. Devin Levi scored.
Unassisted.
Goalie goal? No, he was just on the bench. It's okay, guys. Nothing exciting happened.
Nothing's exciting happening in both of our teams.
Well, I mean, maybe that was until the Leafs game, and we got some pretty good news today, at least Sabres-wise.
I saw.
Matthew Savoy is being called up. Big news. Huge news.
Who's being sent down? Biro?
Biro's going on IR. Or Biro. Biro's going on IR. So, it's not long-term IR, but it helps.
We'll see.
You know, maybe we'll actually see middle stat mode as a winger.
No.
Yeah. Where else are you going to put Savoy? Savoy's the center.
I know. I guess you put Casey at the left, but...
I mean, unless if you're going to sit Krebs for a little bit. They could be unhappy with Krebs because he did not play a lot in the third period of that Maple Leafs game.
No.
I think he only had one
shift?
One shift. And that was same with Olsen.
Yeah,
What
I
a
agree.
shocker. What a shocker. Still waiting for the day we get rid of him. Sorry, Olsen.
Not happening.
I know.
That's never happening. He's
He
a Sabre for
never
life.
will.
Sorry to break it to you. He's getting extended for millions next year.
Millions. Great.
Mass extension.
Great.
League max. Whatever it is. I don't know. Just get...
Mm-hmm. You know, you want another Sabres player?
If you ever give me Olsen, I think I might cry.
I mean, we can make that happen.
You know
What
it's fine,
if we
though,
give
but
you
I-
all... Wait, we'll make the trade right now. I'm Kevin Adams, and you're... Who's the Panthers GM?
Zito.
Okay. I'll give you Victor Olsen. You give me Sam Reinhart.
If this was a real business meeting, I'd be going to jail. But this pen is being shoved so far into your eye, you're gonna get a whatever
That's-
pick 'em up, whatever it's called.
Oh, add a second in there.
That's brutal.
Second what?
Second round.
Yeah, okay. I you can turn that second into just the number 2 and then just put a first rounder next to it.
I mean, no, that's what you gave us, so we don't want to give you that in return.
Of course you don't. Thank you so much for Sam Reinhart, though, on this contract year. About to get big money.
And he's only going to be your third line winger. I mean, it's true, though.
That's all we need.
True.
And he's putting up massive numbers. If we just, didn't give up Ratko Gudas,
Yeah.
maybe we'd be fine defensively and able to score and actually keep games within reach and win. But
that doesn't happen.
It's almost as if the Panthers and Sabres are playing the same game right now, and it's hurting.
Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down.
We just leave Sergei out there to dry.
And now you face Columbus tonight. The Panthers do. At least we get a day off until we face Carolina, who is without their starting goaltender.
Yeah, it's big. Hopefully he gets
because
the treatment he needs.
Yeah, Frederick Anderson has been found to have a blood clotting issue that needs to be dealt with immediately.
Yeah, so hopefully he gets the help he needs.
Yeah,
he's able to come back healthier than ever.
They didn't specify.
But still, you know
where,
who we
though,
have to
did they?
face? You know who we have to face? Ranta. I'm so ready to lose again. I'm so ready to lose.
No, you guys got it. You guys.
No, we don't. No, we don't at all. Look, I'm almost ready to give up on this season already.
Yeah, I think
because I'm happy and then I'm majorly sad. I mean, you want to hear the Sabres lines at practice today? Thompson, Skinner, Tuck. Middlestat, Greenway, Paterka. Pretty good line. Krebs, Savoy, or Olofsson. And then Rusek. And then Chost, Gergensen, Opozo. That third line is having me question things.
That third line is...
It's having me question a lot of things right now.
Rusek on the right is insane.
Mm-hmm.
You guys need Jack Quinn back immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be nice.
December, though. You got one more month.
I don't know if we can wait one more month. Screw it. Put him on the treadmill now. See if he can get going.
No, you guys got it.
Nope. No, we don't.
No, you guys got it.
And then the defensive pairings are shaken up a little bit just because of Samson's injury. I really hope they don't ever run that 7 defense scheme again. Please. Please. It gave me memories of Montour on the third line when the soccer coach was our coach. Ralph Kruger,
also,
baby.
thank you for Brandon Montour, who should be coming back, I think, in the next week. We're back, baby. We're on top. I have nothing to be sad about anymore.
Oh.
I think the Red Bull's kicking in right now, guys.
I mean, you're 5-4-1. You lose tonight, you're 5-5-1.
Yeah, I understand numbers. I know how that works.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you know numbers.
I'm unplugging your computer.
But if they lose tonight, they're still 1 point behind the Sabres. But you still have a game in hand.
With less games played, yeah.
Yeah. Two less games. Two.
This was the conversation last year, but just reversed.
Yeah. No, that's always the Sabres. The Sabres are always ahead. I don't know why.
No, last year we were.
Well, the only reason we were behind was because we had the freak storm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That canceled 3 games.
Yeah.
That was the only reason. If those 3 games do not get canceled, we are not in that conversation of, ooh, can they do it? No. We would be done way before you.
No.
Yes. We would know pretty well if we were done before you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still kept it close.
The pressure would be more on you than us.
Kept it fun.
Made me want.
Not for my heart, because I was like, if we mess up on that beautiful Pittsburgh and Blackhawks game.
But yeah, everybody has 2 games, at least 1 game on the Sabres, except for the Detroit Red Wings, who decided to give Boston their first regulation loss of the season. Interesting. Very interesting. Nobody really expected that to happen. Yeah, and the next opponent for Sabres, the Carolina Hurricanes, they're 7-5. Same amount of games. Just A little bit better. I mean, if we beat them, that would be nice. Then we could say we're just as good as the Hurricanes, right?
No.
That's how that works?
No.
Right?
No.
Please? Come on.
No.
Just you're below us.
No. Absolutely not.
You didn't win the cup last year.
You didn't make it at all. You're still in the longest playoff drought in any 4 major sports.
No, isn't there one more team that's like tied with us?
Nope.
The Jets. Jets are at 12 years. We're at 12 years. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think you guys are 1 year behind them.
Mm-mm. Maybe. No, I know. I remember seeing that graphic, and I'm like, that's going to stay in my mind forever. Probably did. I'm probably right. I like to think I'm right.
Yeah, you like to think a lot of things.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
NFL teams, Jets right now is 12. Why?
But even the Vancouver Canucks are on another level to start this season off, 8-2-1, after demolishing the Sharks like every other team has. The Sharks' point percentage is the lowest I've ever seen it since the Sabres. .045.
Also, it is 12 seasons. It's also a league record, so congrats.
Oh, we're a league record? Yay. I forgot we were a league record. Yay. Oh, don't make yourself so happy. You still haven't.
My Stanley Cup was beating the Bruins, so that was when my day ended. And then
you were just like, okay, season's over. I don't care what happens now.
I didn't care.
Really?
I mean, I cared. Obviously, I cared. But like, if whatever happened the next month, I was like, I'm cool with. And of course, everything else happened.
Right. Where Jack Eichel gets his first ring, where you guys could have stopped that, but you didn't because you're a bunch of bums. I don't care if we're in the longest playoff drought ever. You're a bunch of bums for losing to Jack Eichel.
And you're a bunch of bums for letting go of Jack Eichel.
No, he deserved it. He deserved it. He deserved it. What are you looking for? I know that's all a setup. What are you looking for?
No, that's it. That's all
Are
I
you looking
wanted
for
to do.
answers?
No.
But the Sabres have probably one of the toughest roads ahead to get some points. Like I said, Hurricanes tomorrow, Wild on Friday, Penguins, who there's the Sabre Killer.
Yeah.
That is the problem. The Sabre Killer is playing on Saturday, so it's a doubleheader. Am I boring you?
I'm tired.
You have
I
a
thought
Red
the
Bull.
Red Bull was going to kick in. It started kicking in a little, and now it's not.
Fine. Then we have the Bruins. Yay!
That's a little. Uh-oh.
Then we have Winnipeg.
Why'd you say it like that?
Should be winnable.
Winnipeg's a good team.
Did I say it with a different, like a happy tone?
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't mean to. But they are 5-4-2, which gives me some hope.
Yeah.
That Hellbuck just isn't good for one game. Even though supposedly everybody wanted to trade for him. And then we have Chicago. Chicago we should easily beat.
Chicago shouldn't even be allowed to play right now.
Because of the other, sexual assault charge that got brought up then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Didn't even need to
Another
be that
thing
one.
from 2010.
Jeez.
Yep. But,
But they get Connor Bedard.
They get Connor Bedard.
Mm-hmm.
God, oh my God. Corruption at its finest, ladies and gentlemen.
It is.
Corruption at its finest.
No, I still wrote a whole midterm about it. Whole good 7 pages. Got me 100. That's all that matters. Yes.
We're
yes.
studious here.
But I think to end this miserable Monday, I never ever want to do another Monday. Joe, you better show up next Monday. I don't want to do this no more.
Fixed, bud.
I don't want to do Mondays no more. Get your windshield fixed. Yeah. That's right. He told me, he couldn't be on the show. He's like, yeah, they told me they'll be at my car either between 8 in the morning or 4 p.m.
Sheesh.
What a time.
What a time.
What a time. So you either got to wake up really early or you are just waiting forever. But there's always one thing we like to do to close out the show. And at least it makes us feel like idiots, but I think it will finally make us feel better inside.
Yep, there it
That
Yeah.
time.
It is. It is. We can finally get away from this Monday. Get ready for Friday. Do picks.
Already.
Yep, I'm already on to Friday. Trust me. I'm not looking back at this week at all. The weekend, bum. Bum weekend. Don't want to hear about it ever again.
You're about to hear it in class, Dan.
I know. If you never played Immaculate Grid before, it's a 3x3 grid. 3 teams on top or stat, and then 3 teams on the rows. Today's Immaculate Grid is the Las Vegas Raiders, the Jacksonville Jaguars, in a 1,000-yard receiving season, 1,000-yard plus. On the road, or rows, not the road. I'm going on the road.
Hit the road, Jack.
On the rows, it's the New England Patriots, the Seattle Seahawks, and the New Orleans Saints.
Well,
Well,
you can go Jimmy G, Jacoby Myers.
true.
Was Aguilar?
Did Nelson Aguilar
Yeah,
play for the Raiders?
I think
Was
he
it him or
did.
Rieger? Or Rager?
I think you're right. Aguilar did.
Yeah, I did Jimmy.
But did he play for New? Oh yeah, he did
He
play
did,
New
yeah.
England for that one season.
Aguilar.
Yeah.
Or I think he actually still might be there.
No, Aguilar's now in Baltimore. No, Minnesota. No.
No,
He's somewhere where
Rager-
nobody
I think-
cares.
I think Rager's in Minnesota.
Yeah, Rager's in Minnesota. I don't know where Aguilar
I mean, if
is.
Antonio Brown played for
Yeah,
Oakland.
yeah, Antonio Brown didn't play it down for the Raiders, or else that would work. You just want to go...
Jimmy G's going to be the obvious one.
You want to go Jacoby Myers then?
I feel like that's going to be high, but yeah.
I mean, it's either Jacoby or Jimmy, so...
I'm going Nelson Aguilar.
Jimmy's got 27. I just did it on
If
mine.
Nelson Aguilar works, I'll put that in. No, it's good. I'm putting it in anyway. 2%.
Let's go.
Jeez. New England, Jacksonville.
Oh, God.
Did Hoyer ever play for Jacksonville or no?
James Robinson? No, he never played it down.
I don't think Brian Hoyer was
He
No,
was in Jag.
I don't think Brian Hoyer was either. Oh man, I really thought James Robinson would
Did
work.
Bortles ever back up
No.
at New England? No.
I don't like this.
We'll think of something.
1,000-yard receiver.
Randy Moss?
Randy Moss, Gronk,
Gronk,
Edelman, Danny Amendola,
Did Chris
Wes
Hogan ever
Welker?
get it?
Wes Welker. I don't think Chris Hogan
Did
got
Chris
it.
Hogan ever get 1,000?
I honestly have no clue.
No.
I have
We're just
no
gonna
clue.
say no for Chris Hogan.
I'm gonna go Wes Welker just because I like Wes Welker.
I think that's going to be a high one.
20%.
Yeah, Randy Moss
Not
at
that
28.
Okay, maybe it was high.
Yeah, because I did Randy Moss on mine, and that was 28.
Yeah, Chris Hogan doesn't work.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. Okay. Good. We didn't go. Good we didn't go then. Let's move on to Seattle Raiders. Does anybody have a thought? Gino didn't do it. Drew Lock didn't do it.
For what?
Seattle Raiders.
Well, there's the obvious one.
What's
Beast
the-
mode.
Oh.
Lynch, yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
I always mess up the receivers. It's when they go. It's. Because Jerry Rice was a. Artio.
I don't know where you're going with this.
'Cause I know one prime receiver ended his time with the Seahawks, and Jerry Rice was never a Raider, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think that was Randy Moss.
Oh,
I think we just go Marshawn.
I think we have to.
Yeah.
No, I got nothing.
61%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seattle.
Jaguars. Shaquille Griffin, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. The corner, right?
Yes, UCF
Yeah.
legend.
54%.
And 1,000 Seattle.
Oh, you could go so many.
Lockett.
Baldwin, Golden Tate. You want to go Golden Tate?
I was gonna say Jermaine Kearse.
Kearse is good.
Don't
Don't
do it.
don't do it.
Don't listen to me ever again.
I like Golden Tate then. I was wrong.
What was Golden Tate?
We're just gonna go easy one. Doug Baldwin.
I was gonna say Tyler Lockett.
I'm gonna throw on Lockett.
I'm going Baldwin.
Lockett's
19%.
No, okay. Yeah, Lockett at 29.
Okay.
So 19 is better.
Saints Raiders. I don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I
don't.
Derek Carr.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
probably.
Foster Moreau.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's go with
part
Foster.
of the trade.
Oof. Yeah, Derek Carr had 73%.
6% for Foster. Saints Jaguars. I have no clue.
Yannick Ngakoue, Calais Campbell.
Was Calais a part of the Saints?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
He's been everywhere, but I don't think he was ever hurt.
Right. Jeez. Allen Robinson, Allen Hearns, no. MJD, no.
Was Allen Robinson not a Saint?
I don't think he was. I think he was a... Was he a Saint?
No.
No. I would have remembered. He was a Ram.
So we need just all the rest of the Saints stuff, and then, or we need Saints, Jags, and Saints receive. No, wait, what do we need?
Saints, Jags, Saints 1,000 plus, and then New England Jaguars.
I mean, Saints 1,000 plus.
Michael
Jimmy
Thomas,
Graham.
Jimmy Graham. We'll go Jimmy Graham. People don't usually put in tight ends. 8%. So we just need Saints or Patriots with the Jaguars. Because we only have one guess left.
So we can just pick either or?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's either or at this point. It's like
Okay.
if you figure out one, just share.
I'm thinking in my head.
I would hope.
Shut up.
I don't know where else you would be thinking.
Okay. We are a PG show. Oh my god.
Think with your gut. The point.
Thought I had to rush you to the button real quick there for a second. My goodness.
Yeah, I don't know much players.
I'm
played
really
for these
stuck.
two.
I mean, it doesn't help that the Jaguars haven't been around that long.
Mike Lennon was drafted by the Jags
But did he play for the Saints?
and or the Pags.
I don't think he did. I don't even think he's touched Patriot land. Was Jacoby Brissett ever a Jaguar? No.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
Brandon Cooks? No. No, it
No.
works with Patriot Saints. It doesn't work with Jaguars.
This is a tough one.
Oh my god. Scared me.
I can't think of one.
Leonard Fournette went from Jags to Bucks, right?
Yes.
He was never a Patriot.
No.
I don't know why I see Leonard Fournette.
We did in unison there, Chris. Loved it.
I don't know why I see Leonard Fournette in a Pats uniform.
Playoff Lenny. He might have been practice squad. I don't know about like actually taking it down though.
Why do I really want to go James Robinson for Jaguars New England?
I think it's a fair guess.
I think, I mean, he did just get released by the Packers. James Robinson.
Yeah.
He only has him playing from 20 to 22.
Nice.
I guess I'll go for it. We were wrong.
See what the answers
Yep,
were.
we're going. We're going. Let's see. Most popular: Fred Taylor and Mark Brunell. Fred Taylor was for Jaguars, Patriots, and then Mark Brunell was for Saints, Jaguars.
I didn't know Fred Taylor was a...
I don't think we were ever going to get that. Let's see. Who else would be somebody we know? Jacob Hollister.
Nope.
I mean, I always know of him.
Chris Hansen.
Chris Hansen? I don't know who Chris Hansen is. Malcolm Brown. I always know who that is.
Yeah, I was not getting this.
No.
Well,
this was a toughie.
Philip Dorsett. I didn't know. He played like one game.
Chris Ivory for Jags.
Oh my God, that works. That's outrageous that Chris Ivory works somewhere. That's not Jet oriented.
Man, I can't believe.
Luke McCown. Should have known that one. Should have known the McCown brothers were going to show up at some point.
There's nothing. There's nothing here I would have got.
Dan Arnold, maybe. Maybe. Kai Forbath, would have never have guessed.
Steve Largent for over 1,000 on Seattle.
Oh,
That's
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That makes so much sense. Oh,
It
I feel
does.
stupid about that one. I feel dumb.
Yeah, there's really nobody else.
Brandon Cooks did it for the Pats. For over 1,000.
Yeah, he's done 1,000 in like every year of his career.
Oh my God.
Is that like 6 straight seasons of 1,000? He's a dog. Doesn't matter what team he's on. You know, we should feel good about ourselves. Most people got 6 today.
What did we get?
7.
Round of applause.
People did not know Seahawks Jacksonville. Only 27%. Seemed like Jacksonville caused everybody
What
problems.
did we say for Seahawks Jacksonville?
The Shaquille Griffin.
Yes.
Yeah, it was 30% for Jacksonville Patriots, 27% for Seattle Jacksonville, and then 22% for Saints Jacksonville. That's how you know you're just having a bad day.
We're hard.
What a good way to end a very melancholy Monday.
Yeah. College basketball starts tonight.
No one cares until March. You
I
know that.
I know. Trust me, I know.
Well,
I think there's only one thing left to do.
cry.
Well, there's okay, 2 things left to do. Chris, shout out your socials.
You can follow me on X or Twitter at CJacobello17.
Frank.
Follow me on X at Frank561Lopez or on Instagram at FrankLopez_561. Or soon, I'm trying to look to maybe start a new podcast.
Ooh.
Thinking of some names. I was thinking Sunshine State Sports.
Ooh.
Maybe soon you'll see me there.
Ooh.
Keep an eye out for it.
Ooh.
Fire Todd Bowles.
I cut you off right as you said Fire Todd Bowles.
Fire Todd Bowles.
There you go. You can follow me on X at _D capital WNY. Hug a Bills fan today. Hug a Bucks fan today. Just hug somebody. It's okay. Just gotta cry. Gotta cry. Gotta forget about this game. We'll hopefully get better. See you on Wednesday, everybody. Have a great melancholy Monday.